Hi, we're at Newark Air Museum, and the last time I came here it was possibly 20 years ago, so come join us.
If you look around, there are parent-kid parking spaces and disabled parking spaces. 10 AM on the coldest day in Britain on 2025 so far. Telephone box like the one at, where was it? It was near Birmingham, wasn't it? I can't remember where it was now. Bromsgrove? I can't remember. That's pretty cool. £13.35 for an adult, which isn't bad, and because we gift aided, I didn't know this before I did it, you get £1.35 gift aid voucher to use in the cafe, which is nice, so we've got one of those each. This reminds me of like grandparents' houses with the wheelbarrows and the flowers and stuff.
This wasn't here I don't think before, so this one is the RAF Valley 1991. So HC MK2 XV728, built in 1968.
Exhaust there as well. For that. I like the way the orange paint is still quite luminous. I don't think it comes out on camera, but that is actually quite a bright orange. So that's propellers that fold up. That's quite a nice little design. It's probably on a lot of helicopters, but the way those propellers fold up is quite smart.
So basically, the hunted. An Aboriginal word meaning the hunted one as well.
An unmanned drone. Yeah. Again, I don't think it comes out how much luminous that is. Anti-aircraft gun. Russian built. 14.5mm. Quadruple guns. It is as well. Look, you can see the four there.
6 crew in total.
600 rounds per minute. 1.4 kilometre range. 6 crew. 1.8 tonnes. The Gloucester Meteor 2.7. VZ 634. 2-seat conversion trainer was built in 1949. English Electric Canberra made its first flight October 1953. Joined the 542 squadron at RAF Whiten. Tropical modifications were carried out before service in the Far East. It flew to St Anthem for disposal, where it was struck off charge. It then moved to RAF Cottesmore to become an instructional airframe. And a gate guard. Held this position for 26 years before it was bought by members of 81 Squadron and moved to Newark. I like the ace of spades there. There's a sort of haunting quality about seeing all like the moss on it and things like that. Big though. I don't think it comes across on camera how big these are. There's Stacey over there. Under that beast, we'll see in a minute. That is massive. That is massive. De Havilland, 1946, was delivered to the Iraq Petroleum Transport Company, flying out of Tripoli. Sold in 1957. Converted to Series 1B. Returned to UK in 1965. It was acquired by this museum and arrived in 1989. Just to show you just all the information they've got about where these actual planes were. It's impressive. And they'll tell you the engine sizes, wingspan, max takeoff weight, capacity, top speed, range. Feels like I'm walking under the Millennium Falcon. Vulcan Bombay fuel tank. 2 fuel tanks could have carried in the Bombay, one at the forward end and one at the rear. You'll see there. You can see all the landing gear. You get right up close actually. It's massive.
At the back door.
We've got the snow shovel ready at the door. Obviously the donations go towards like the maintenance of them and all the work and everything that gets put in, and they're so knowledgeable, so if you have any questions just ask away and they'll answer it as well.
Cicata. That looks ever so slightly Spanish. Originally blue and white. In 2012 decided to repaint in a colour scheme chosen by a museum member, although scheme submitted the one displayed by Kathy Smith, museum trustee, based on markings seen in aircraft flying in the Channel Islands. Oh, it's got Kathy Smith name on it as well. That's quite cool. Blue canoe of the USAF. That is a nice. It's like almost like a royal blue. You can see the little lights. You can actually see the red light in there behind some glass. It's the English electric Canberra. In '63 it joined 85 Squadron. It's modified to a T-19 and spent time at Binbrook before returning to West Raynham and then on to join 7 Squadron at St Morgan. The 79 aircraft went into store at RAF St Ath and finally moved to Marshals of Cambridge, from where it was moved to the museum in '85. My nose on that.
This one's amazing. It was built in 1957 and I don't know, I'm going to send a picture on my Instagram, see if anyone can find the snail too. So but I went in this one.
You can go underneath the rope. Fences let you go underneath.
But I went in this one and it's got the most comfiest of seats as well, so it's so good. Well, there you go. Over a shekel.
Like the windscreen wiper there.
We are 977.
Under restoration.
At the minute it is, sadly, but there is other things where you can go. They do change from time to time, like when they open them, so you can go visit.
It was
them.
dismantled by museum members and moved here in '77. So they had to dismantle it to move it.
But it's quite a groovy looking place.
Oh yeah, it looks like you can go in, like when it is open, you can go in the back.
Yeah, but at the minute they change from time to time which ones you can go in and visit them, so hence why they're doing it. Also, well done to all the volunteers coming out in the cold at this time.
Coldest
of
day
year.
of the year so far.
Yeah, and just to stay around, just to give people knowledge.
We can walk under this wing. We have the rope fences, obviously, but they keep it maintained with the paint.
It's the most comfiest. Honestly, when you get in there, they've got proper like cushion seats. And it's a bit like when you go in a static caravan with a dining table in the middle. You sit there and it's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it was quite a long time ago. But yeah, maybe we could go in it another day when it's open. But and then I found out there's another shed along, so they keep building these giant sheds.
So this one looks like when it's safe to do so, and not. I don't know if that's a viewing platform for when they have days it's open, or whether that's for them to paint it. The size of these aircraft, though. Hadley Page, Hastings T5. Cod War, overflying the fishing fleets. If anyone knows what the Cod War was,
I think if
tell
I
us in the
remember right,
comments.
that's either the sat nav or the tracker underneath.
Oh, underneath, it's like, yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think I remember my friend Bob, bless her heart, to tell me about it, about saying that that's basically a sat nav. And they're only just having sat navs in our car at this point, coming into production. So yeah, that's quite a memory there.
I don't know if that's a reference to the fishing fleets and the Cod War, but it's like there's a yellow fish there as well. That's massive. Massive it is. Having said that, the Vulcan in the distance there is even bigger. Dassault MD454 Mystere IVA83, and you can see that on the side. Just like, it probably is painted silver, but it just looks like raw metal, doesn't it? Spirit of Liberty. Lakenheath. You used to live near there, didn't you?
Used to live near it.
Suffolk there.
Yeah, many years ago.
Yeah, then completed 4,459 flying hours. What I found weird about these, you look at them and you think about the war, like the World War for some reason, just the colours and stuff, and then you read the date and it's like, no, it was built after. But it's really weird how your mind goes. Is that for refuelling, that bit at the front?
So basically that.
Oh, it's radar or something.
The radar or the navigator. So obviously it'd help pinpoint where if the plane's level or not. Also it determines like the temperature and all that lot as well. Do you know what I mean? Like
I think
it's
so.
just basically like like you get your sort of like temperature prongs for your cooking, but it'd be like it for the air, and obviously the density of the air and stuff.
Helicopter. The Lynx Mark 28. Only built 3. It arrived at the museum in December 2018. The pre-COVID days. Yeah, it looks like a lot of these have certain days you can go in them and stuff.
Some of them look like they're half done as well, because obviously they're still maintaining and like replenishing them. So obviously they'll have a sign to say if they're still being worked on.
Chinook.
I do like those sort of helicopters though.
First flight in early 1982. Moved to RAF Cranwell as a loadmaster training aid. Which is probably why the back's open, to be fair.
Yeah.
Puma main rotor head and swash plate assembly.
So that's top where the propellers go. Like
Is
they
this
do.
the Puma here?
Right.
Yeah, it looks like that might be the bit that goes on top of that. Royal Air Force. Gravity refueling, 145 gallons. That's probably a lot of weight to carry. You can sort of see through the condensation. Puma. Turbo Mecha turbo engines too. This is the Blackburn Buccaneer. Built in 1963. 1988. It was brought to Newark. I think that's for radar, isn't it? On the front again. Could be wrong, that might be fuel because it's more rigid. I'm sure people will tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Look at that. It's like on the front of the nose. They look like the front half of Harrier jump jets over there. De Havilland was an air ambulance to transport patients to a major hospital on the mainland. Oh, that's on Barra Island. So it's used between small islands as well. You can sort of see now. Now looking from the side you can see the way the windows are. You can see the seats inside that look quite comfortable, to be fair. It's a passenger plane. I don't know if that's an accurate representation of island life, but it's like a pseudo terminal. And on the islands there were another big one, so maybe it would be static caravan. It's another exhibit of a front end of a plane. The Avro Ashton Mark II. There's a photo of it. The Red Barrows. A postbox from RAF Swinderby in 1941.
How big the wheel is.
Closed in 1993. And it was presented in May 98 to the museum. Missile camera nose.
Fine.
An air-to-air missile almost looks like there's not enough space to put explosives in it. There's all that tech in it.
It'll all be down there, look, it's all chemicals.
Flight desk from Armstrong Workworth. Oh, is that the flight desk behind the plane? Oh, behind the pilot.
The actual part of the plane.
It reminds me of that bit from the start of Santa Claus 2. Where he's at that desk, isn't he? The guy. This pack was presented to us by AXA Insurance. These lights. Signal lamp.
I say that's like you mean with the brightest lights, isn't it? This is your thing.
600,000 lumens. Yeah, apparently the one I've got is.
Are any of these 600,000?
British Airways there. British Airways one.
They're little brass binnacle lamps. Paraffin burners. Oh my gosh.
Life jacket light. What I thought was interesting was if you look at this, movement by dish by hand is forbidden.
God,
You can see all the electrics in it.
Like nowadays we get like robots to like solder and stuff, but most of this would have been soldered by hand, wouldn't it, as well, if it was like the early 1900s.
The American Survival Kit, tropical, content substantial. Glossary for M booklet, survival booklet, signalling mirror, heliograph, container with Hershey chocolate bars, Wrigley's chewing gum, bouillon powder, which I think is like stock cubes, razor blades, fishing kit, sewing kit, compass, saw blade, prophylactics, sharpening stone, matches, another container with sulfur guanidine for diarrhea, halazone, water sterilisation, atabrine for fever, salt tablets, benzodrine, sulfadiazine, adhesive compress, iodine, eye ointment, toothbrush and tweezers. I think these might have been the two containers they're talking about as well. Oh, it must be. You can see the Wrigley's in there.
That little book.
You can see a little kit of some kind as well. I think it's a sewing kit. Yeah, it is.
My grandma's got one of them, and I actually have that little book.
Which one?
The national registration one behind the
Oh, okay,
safety
behind
matches.
the bottle.
Yeah. I think I did have the ration book, but I don't know where that's gone.
Wooden napkin rings carved by Italian prisoner of war. You've got all this wartime. I don't know. You don't call it propaganda if it's good, do you? Propaganda sounds like a bad word, but it's like that kind of thing. The advertising about V for victory and stuff like that. We're not going to see everything. Like we're going to walk past it and not notice it. Because I just noticed all these things up here.
There's so much stuff. Yeah, it's
And there's probably stuff in storage as well.
Newark Air Museum, you actually deserve all the donations that you can get. And look at that. I hold my aim. That Royal Gunnery. So like, there's everyone War
And goggles.
They're so thin. They do have school visits as well, so they get given like a little quiz to go through things.
Propeller blade down there, wooden one.
Wow.
Broken propeller from aircraft which crashed at Upton Hall near Newark, 1914 to 1918.
Could they sell with the helmet?
RAF Swinderby. This road sign was for many years the pointer to the first step of career in the RAF. The station, which closed in 1993, was the home of the RAF School of Recruitment. That's the sign. Layout of this room depicts the accommodation for aircrew during the Second World War.
Oh, even workshop. Where's the workshop one? There's workshop up there. Which one's near that one? I'll press them all now just to see, because I've got no idea with geography, everybody.
Wouldn't it say workshop on it?
Workshop, there you go.
Yeah.
RAF workshop.
You've got like Scranton. Is there Cranwell? Cranwell.
Workshop's not too
There's
far.
Cranwell. There's the light.
I used to have school friends in Carlton, which is like the next cool school friends I want.
Section of leather covered telephone cable was discovered when digging for notice of a hangar. It was the main telephone line for RAF Winthrop during 1940.
Do you know, like you say, like embroidery? Look at the embroidery on that crown there. Like that's insane.
Got little details on the cross there as well. A little snake. Well, I think it's meant to look like a snake. It doesn't have a snake's head in it. All Saints Church, Foldingworth, 300 Squadron commemorative window. There's another blade there. Propeller blade from EF 186 after cleaning and painting. All the life-saving stuff here. See the tail end of a plane there in the water.
I like the hand pedals. Like you'd have to.
The kite.
I like the survival thingy over there.
Survival knife.
Well, not the knife. I meant the acronym thing.
Size up the situation. Undue haste makes waste. Remember where you are. Vanquish fear and panic. Improvise. Value living. Act like the natives. Learn basic skills.
Yeah.
You see life jackets at the time as well. This is someone who would have been helicopter.
Front of it.
Well, they got paper knives made from scrap pieces of steel,
that's
brass,
cool.
and perspex recovered from crashed First World War aircraft. Of squadron badges. RAF police. Invitations to the station Christmas party for 1943 and 1944. Portable chess set issued to members of the Luftwaffe. There.
Can you read the notice above the pilot's window?
Exit poll.
Yeah.
No.
Emergency exit.
Oh, right.
You're reading the right notice. Look at the first word carefully.
Emergency.
It's spelt correctly here
Yeah.
and down there.
Yeah.
Is it on purpose that it's spelled incorrectly up there?
Well, that's the interesting question. Anyway, come on board. Mind your head as you come through
Yeah.
the door. Right.
Oh,
Take a seat and make yourself comfortable.
I'm having a look now going, emergency, emergency.
I didn't even notice till you said.
Well,
Is that the only model that has it spelt like that, or do you know if the other models do?
it's on here in about a dozen places, and it's spelt correctly in all the others.
Oh, really?
For that. So, I think it was done deliberately. I think the man that had the job of painting the same notice over and over again got bored, and they were whole word stencils. It's actually more difficult to leave a
To miss it
letter
out, yeah.
If we take these seats out, it turns from a minibus into a Amazon delivery van that can
Yeah.
be used for transporting goods and packages.
Yeah.
around. This aircraft was built in 1968 and saw service until 1997. If you put a special floor down, you can have up to 3 stretchers in here. The reason for the
Yeah.
floor is the metal the aircraft's made from doesn't respond very well to bodily fluids, to corrode the aircraft. You may have noticed that on the outside of the aircraft there is a hook and a hoist,
Yes.
but it wasn't an air sea rescue helicopter. A couple of members went to a scrapyard on the Welsh border and acquired a nose cone from an air sea rescue Wessex, stuck it on the front and covered it up immediately. They covered it up for 2 reasons. First of all, they were embarrassed. It is bright orange and doesn't go with the drab camouflage of the rest of the aircraft.
We were just saying the hook was bright
I was saying
orange
the hook was
earlier,
bright
wasn't
orange,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, before everyone came in.
Anyway, but the other reason for covering it up is that the nose cone is the main air intake into the jet engines. We didn't want birds nesting in the engine compartment. Why has it got a hook and a hoist if it isn't for SE rescue? Simple answer. When the RAF were training their aircrew, they had this disconcerting habit of loading trainee aircrew onto a boat, taking them out to sea, handing them a life jacket and a little rubber dinghy, and throwing them overboard. And then one of these helicopters would fly out, lower its hook, hoist them out the water, and either put them back on the boat they were thrown off in the first place. If they were feeling generous, they'd take them back to their air bases.
Let's have a look.
It's a good question. I don't know the answer to it. It's pretty useless. A lot of the noise of the helicopter.
I'll go and donate it at the till anyway, so.
Well, thank you very much.
Alright,
Thank
you.
We're going to the Vulcan.
Obviously.
It's not bad. £2. Do you want me to turn the heat on?
Yeah, I can't remember
Got
to do
hand
it again.
heaters
I'm
now.
pressing it loads of times.
Hold that one.
Yeah.
Oh no. You hold that one.
Yeah,
it on.
and then it's the
Click
other one
it.
for three, yeah.
You want 3? Do you want both sides on?
Just one at the minute. Thank
Get
you.
the back. That's the hand heater, everyone. The Vulcan. So we're going to go in the Vulcan. £2 adult, £1 on the 16s.
Yeah.
3 under 5s.
You want to go in?
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Okay, yeah. My colleague up there will look after you extremely well.
Oh, bless her.
Are we going up further? Oh no.
No, just up to there. So you come up here, and climb up this ladder here, and go to your left. There's a seat there. You sit there if you want.
It was impeccably hard to see inside from down there because it's so bright outside.
Oh, this is the V2 Vulcan. So this is like a Mark II Vulcan. One of the main differences between this and the Mark 1s is you've got the little window there, that was originally going to be used for bombing. They were going to develop a bomb site.
Yeah.
But they decided that the bomb site's not a good idea, and it's also got a quick start. So you've got the 4 red buttons under here at the top there. Below that you've got a separate button on its own. You hit that and all 4 engines fire up at once. So during a scramble you'd run up the ladder, captain goes first, straight through this gap here. So this will be lifted up, so he squeezes through that gap there,
Yeah.
hits the button on his way through, so then all 4 engines are winding up as he gets into the cockpit.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't have to wait too long for them to heat up.
No, they're just literally, when they're strapping in and that, the engines are winding up because they'll have it connected to a ground power unit, which will then just fire it straight up.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and apparently when the first time doing it, it scared the hell out of the ground crew because they're used to what engines 1, 2, 3, 4 firing all individually, and then the whole lot went together.
Is that something you don't want to do very often?
Yeah, it puts a lot of wear on the engine, but the idea was during a QRA scramble, you know, they've got obviously like 5 minutes to get airborne. So the idea was just to hit that and get it in the air. So your main positions is captain, co-pilot, radar operator, navigator and air electronics officer.
Yeah.
So the radar operator is also the bombardier. So you found the bomb site again.
Yes!
And you can still see it on the side there.
Oh my gosh, it is! It's there.
There it
on
is
the
there.
cable.
Yeah, on the cable. That's where you dropped the bomb from.
On the ground.
And the navigator in the middle there, he was doing the old-fashioned way with a ruler, compass, map, and a pencil. So there was no other electronic guys that saw it. It was all done with a map. So you have to work out. That's what all your instruments at the top there. You've got all your altitude and your speed, your ground speed. You've got all that there. That's to help you. That's to help you navigate because you need to know your true speed on the ground to work out how fast you're going. And then the wind meters are there to be able to, if you've got any crosswinds, it tells you what side the wind is, how strong the wind is. You can miss a target by 10 miles just because you've got a strong crosswind which is blowing you across. So you have to then navigate to steer back onto that side. So you have to oversteer to then compensate for the wind movement. And the radars at the time were so dull, they've got these flash curtains that they can put down as well. And if there's a nuclear bomb, they pull these down as well so it doesn't blind the crew with the flash of the bomb going off.
Yeah.
So they're literally in a little bit in darkness. on the tail you've got a series of like big dustbins in the tail which are radar jammers. They get so hot, so they put them at the back of the aircraft because they generate so much heat. And that little orange screen there is where you'd look at them, and that's where it gets to the frequency of the radar, searches the frequency of the radar, matches it, and then jams it and blocks the radar frequency. And then they can respond to the Port Stanley raid as they come over. You notice as well the so we've got the British rail. Well, these are like London Underground handy holes.
That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Were they
were
actually in the plane already, or is that something
They
that
were in the plane.
Oh, okay.
They're not there as a second thing. They're actually part of the aircraft. That the crew used to get round, handholds to get round the aircraft.
Yeah.
And these little tins here, what you put your soup in, they take about an hour to warm up. A tin of soup and a biscuit. That's your in-flight.
Are they heated by just being next to something hot, or are they sent heat to them?
Heated elements.
Okay.
So the air electronics officer switches them on. It takes about an hour for it to warm up.
I just want to know what this box is for. There's like a box
That's
here.
for your back. That's lumbar support.
Yeah, that's because you'd have your parachute. So the seats, you notice the seats feel different
Yeah.
because you've got a parachute on you. So you'd be permanently on your chute.
Yeah.
Oh, so you need that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because that seat's designed to slide. So it
And then
slides back.
thinking I could just fit my backpack here, even though it's a small backpack.
Yeah,
I was like,
and that's
I'm
what it's
actually
designed
not.
for.
I've got a keyring on it, but I've actually not got any problems with it.
I think it's easy coming down when it's coming up.
I'll say it'll take me a while.
The Bombay viewing
Oh my
platform.
gosh, I'm agoraphobic. It's massive.
£1,000 GP bombs. The Vulcan carried 21 of these.
This is
On
huge.
3 carriers, each holding 7 bombs. So I was told it's 111-foot wingspan on
The
this.
stuff that he was explaining about the heated thing, I can understand that.
Oh, right.
I'm too much on land.
The engine hole. Press the button to rotate the engine.
Self-contained unit installed in the craft to provide sufficient electrical power for continued use of essential flight services. Should a failure of the normal supply occur, it would also supply air to the chain air ventilated suit system when the aircraft was on the ground.
Aircraft hall number 1. The Vulcan. Coming into land after having made just one flight past to assess the situation. Was that a sign from the Times, was it?
What? Warning, in case of nuclear disaster, bend over, place your head between your knees and kiss your arms.
Let's see what it was like for the Royal Observer Corps. Got the Lancaster.
Which one's the one?
Not that on there?
The Avro Lancaster.
There it is.
They're stitching for the Royal Observer Corps.
Royal Observer Corps. Forewarned is forearmed. But there is something quite unique up there. As we go through this doorway into the hangar.
I kid you not, we had a bell like that at primary school. And the teacher would ring it if we weren't listening to the first bell. She'd ring it the second time and stand outside.
Got these flight chairs. It's a circular biplane.
That's what I mentioned.
Flying squirrel engine. Flying flea. Looks like a microlight with bigger wings. What's that in the back? Is that an original? That looks like an original one. And I think this is mocked up to look like it. But that looks like an original one made of wood.
This is the one I saw on the news that it got built and then put here. Quite cool, isn't it? Made out.
It's got little ones there as well. Change direction. Little model one as well. Lovely Viridian coloured one here. Everyone knows I go on about Viridian. 3-seated enclosed cabin, monospa. Lights on the end as well. Australia. Balloon observer's coat. See, he's got the hood with the visor as well. What colour that is?
Yeah, Viridian.
Yeah. Got some red arrow art there as well. But yeah, it's like, what's it made out of? Sheepskin lined boots. Obviously, they observed actions in the front line. This wasn't commercial balloon flying. World War One. A few miles beyond the front lines, balloon operators would normally remain in the air for several hours, so protective clothing was necessary in keeping warm and dry. Pilot's seat from a Handley Page aircraft from World War One, possibly from a 0400 heavy bomber, known as the Bloody Paralyzer. Surplus cockpit fittings were also used in aircraft produced after the Great War had ended. Oh, there we go. I think that's what people in the biplanes wore, but I think it's probably similar to what the balloon pilots were wearing. The first prototype was called the Snow Gasher and flew in 1939. This experimental version had the pilot in a prone position, seen as advantageous in minimising G-force effects. See the skeletal structure there. Basic trainer. See the little bucket seats inside as well. Danish Air Force. They've done this one up because it's just after Christmas. Got a little elf on a shelf in there. You've got some tinsel. And a bauble. Got the Danish flags out. Draken. Oh, there's even more on this side. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Elf on the shelf isn't through the window, but there's a name inside.
Oh, there's name in there. They got little elves all over it.
You thought that was a real person then? But actually...
Maybe we should decorate a plane in the living room next year instead of a tree. The brake parachute from the Draken. The attachment as well.
Whenever I think helicopter, I always think of this one, the Gazelle, because it's the piping work, you know, where people can step on to get in, and it's got the longest sort of tail as well.
Got a warning siren down there as well. Same design as those during the Second World War.
ZP1, that's the boxy looking one. So it was built by Eugene Zarowski at his home in Burton-on-Trent, Staffordshire. It took about over 2 years to complete. All the aluminium castings used in the construction were first made in wood by Eugene before he cast them.
It's powered by 850cc Panhard engine, and the helicopter is ground run by Eugene prior to his death in 1984. It was never flown, so that one has never been flown.
Gyrocopter. Look at the propellers. A Seahawk. But it looks like, obviously, when they open it on certain days, you can go in that one as well. A little witch on it there. Yeah, look at the side. There's a little witch on it. And the wings that folded as well, so you can see the mechanisms. The Royal Navy. 2 tails on it. Front end. The Phantom. I saw the invites from the other place, but I didn't see the menus from the RAF stations. Newark's Black Friday. Air Raid Warden. A badge.
The Caterpillar Club. Formed in 1922 by Elsie Irving for people whose lives had been saved in an emergency by Irving parachute. Hence the golden caterpillar badge.
Because it looks like a caterpillar, the parachute.
Yeah.
Spitfire brooch. Oh, it's how they make it look. It starts off as a coin, and it turns into a Spitfire.
But that one's a goldfish club where they were saved by the Mae Westjacket or the air sea rescue equipment as well. How cool is that, having names like that? Like, simple as anything.
A Phantom.
Installed
Flight simulator cockpit open. When it is open, adults are £1 and children are 50p. But it's not open today. I do like that though, the fire and ice.
I like that one.
It's definitely ice today.
I like the fire.
Got airfield defence gun. Propeller blade. Little cheeky man inside that. What's that? Lancaster. It's part of a Lancaster. He's in there wearing the garb.
So that actually scared late from Lancaster.
Cockpit side window. Bomb arming sector. Merlin engine exhaust. Everything from the Lancaster. Escape hatch that looks very small. Blade from the Lancaster.
That was used as a garden shed when it was saved from the destruction, and it was used as a garden shed in Gainsborough and donated to the museum in 1974. But because they found it from the wreckage, they used it as a garden shed, which I understand. I do understand. I think we'll have to do
We
another.
just wedge the planes in as well. Yeah, it's very cold in here. It's the coldest day of the year so far. Shotgun starter because it looks like a gun. I was going to say, it's an Kaufman engine starter. Kaufman engine starter. The Westland Whirlwind. Anti-submarine warfare duties. Tornado Tonka tribute. Got various ones here, obviously the camouflage ones. It tells you prototype and what year. I like that one with the red bit to hold open the door. Obviously the red and white one stands out the most, I think. Got a harness here as well. It's quite not that cushioned. What have we got here? Got the Vampire T11. Again, it looks like sometimes they let you look inside that. Planning table as well. Link Trainer Type D2. 1942 of New York. His original flight simulator, which never applies to practice instrument flying without leaving the ground. So it was only for training, but quite boxed in. Way up on the ceiling. A very expensive airfix kit.
Martin Baker ejection seat, Mark II Type CA, fitted for RAF aircraft.
Yeah.
Martin Baker ejection seat, Mark IV Type P, fitted for RAF aircraft.
That looks a lot bulkier.
Mark IV Type BSC, fitted for RAF aircraft. Martin Baker ejection seat, Type 4, Mark IV Type MSD. Number 5 is Type 7.
It's got a lot of stuff in it. Got all these plugins here, but also that one's got a massive head bit. It's quite a bucket seat, that one.
Lightning.
That one looks the most comfortable and or safe.
That one's for the Lightning one.
So the other four are quite open at the front. Fred, SRS2. Is that? It looks like it used to be one way when COVID was on.
Yeah.
Eber Quicksilver GMJDW. Like a little microlight. Looks like Catch the Pigeon. Got a little cute garden here. Dig for Victory. The Anderson Air Raid Shelter, designed in 1938. I think we saw something similar to this in our vlog last year at the Building Museum, where we spent a large portion of the video at the National Phone Kiosk collection. So go check that out, I'll put a link in the description. But we went inside one of these because it was a building museum, so they had just loads, hundreds of acres of land with old buildings on them. RAF Woodington is that way, and RAF Balderton is that way. Unexploded bomb.
It's not, it's just a little joke, isn't it?
There it is. Hanging in the wind.
Representation of Second World War post established to spot, identify and plot enemy aircraft seen.
Oh, so it'd be open air.
So it would have been this, yeah.
Got your tea in there. Your phone, seat. Want that as well, to be able to look into the sky.
This is quite cool because, like, if kids have a go at, like, come to for the day, they could physically go and have a look, you know what I mean, see what's what.
So we've got the Lockheed T-33A. The aerodynamicness of the nose on that is so thin. It just caught me by surprise. We were going to walk past these ones later on, but had to look at that. These Harrier jumper pits, not. It just looks like it, doesn't it? The Buccaneer. No, I was wrong. I thought one of these would be a Harrier jump jet. If we don't see one, I wonder if we'll ever see one in a museum. The English Electric Lightning F6. Because the Harrier jump jet is actually a thing of the past now. Look at the nose on that. Looks like a dog. It's like a dog's nose, that. Flogger, ground attack fighter. Oh, it's starting to get icy. The MiG-23 Flogger. No public access beyond this point. That's where they keep all the artillery. We've got a Bloodhound Mark II. Firelight radar. Big old dish on the top. Various missiles and things. Unsafe area, keep out. Yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere near those. But there is another aircraft hangar. British Railways, door to door. Covered box trailer. 6-ton Scarab mechanical horse. Actually, in that. So it's got quite a lot of load on that. So we've seen the Lockheed. The Lockheed. It's two E's. The thin nose. This looks like a similar design. The Armstrong Whitworth Meteor. NFT 14. That one looks really cool. The Mercer. I'm guessing Canadian. It's got the maple leaf on it. Or it's a sycamore leaf. The snake. Yeah?
That's quite cool, actually. This is a two-seat trainer as well. 1988.
Aircraft armed. Danger. So it looks like all this lovely Sepcat Jaguar. I'm sure that's probably for refuelling at the front.
Pardon?
I'm sure that bit at the front's probably for refuelling, isn't it?
I thought that, and then I thought, oh, maybe not. I don't know.
It's a bit slender there. Got all this land out here to put more planes. What is it?
British Electric Canberra. So basically, it's one of them engines that we saw in there that will go in it, along with the seats as well that we saw in the other shed. Built in Preston in 1952 as a B2, initially delivered to RAF but transferred to the Ministry of Supply at Bitswell. We've flown in Sapphire engines as a test bed.
It's a bit lopsided.
It has been modified since then now as well. It does look a bit lopsided, doesn't it?
It's got the cabin on like the one side.
If you stand a bit where I'm at, it's not lopsided, but
No, it definitely isn't in the centre.
no.
Hall number 2. TriStar cockpit open for viewing. The work on rebuilding this cockpit simulator was mainly undertaken by volunteer Keith Stedman.
Yeah, that's cool. Later over there.
Yeah, that's nice. They might do that tomorrow. That's actually painted. I thought that was a photo. What have you got?
It's basically a Rolls Royce Conway engine made by apprentices in 19.
I don't know if it's meant to make that noise or whether
I
it's
don't
been
know.
going a while.
This bit here is making a noise, but I think it's these plates here. As they move down, you can see them click down.
Rolls Royce Conway.
This, so if I press it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's them because they're at an angle and they're just about going near it. So. It's so cool, isn't it?
Got the parachute on it so it can be a softer, slower descent so it can hit the target more accurately.
See, that one's the same. That one's a pound scale. I'll have to go in there again. That's cool, isn't it?
Surveillance drone there. There's a couple of them. And there's a surveillance drone there as well. Looks more plane like. Luscombe P3 Rattler. It actually looks quite comfortable inside.
I've seen that one.
What's that? Oh, so it has. It's a two-seater version. It's got a parachute, so it can just glide as well as engine-powered. That one looks a bit dangerous. That one looks cool though, with the big wingspan.
About the way they fly and insects.
Yeah. It's just that it's solar powered, but it flies. Solar cells on its wings. So what was in the nose? Because it looks like that was. There's some people navigation there. This looks like passengers. Jumbo jet, by the looks of it. We can go in, heavy lift transport, we can go in the cockpit. There's stairs here. It's quite low, that. Quite cushioned, the chairs.
It does look cool, doesn't it?
Here's some of the navigation.
Did you see the models before coming in?
Yeah.
That model's massive, isn't it?
It's navigation bit. To rotate the chairs though, you wouldn't be able to do it.
I don't think they'd be that close together.
I'm going to come out the back, down the stairs. Scottish Aviation Bulldog T1. One in the picture's blue, and that one's painted like that. But this is the red and white one. The Royal Air Force Squadron. It's that blue bit where the door is, folds out. And they've got a stained glass window. Is that a Spitfire on it? The most famous of all the planes. There's a stained glass window. It looks like it might be a Lancaster. It's actually driven that van out while we've been in there.
I suppose it will keep the engine. Although they're looking at us now, the people that are.
See that bumper going 10 to the dozen?
Like run out of battery or anything.
Yeah.
It's got double propellers!
It's got
Try again, it's got double propellers!
and it's got a bulging belly like a frog.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
what do propellers do?
Fairy Gannet, AEW.3 XP226. XP226 made its first flight in March in 1962. Wow. Coded 422.
It doesn't actually tell me why two propellers is better on there. But yeah, that's interesting.
It's under restoration at the minute, so.
De Havilland Sea Vixen.
De he have a love.
This is with the double tail on it.
De he have a love.
Newark Air Museum Cafe. Opening hours 10 till 3:15. They close at 4, so. Yeah, we're in there. Yeah. It's a good spread.
You can get
Warm sausage roll.
You can get sausage roll. Or you can get like meat and veggie pasties. There's also like gluten-free cakes as well and tarts, and a good mixture of other stuff. On the run again.
Not by steamroller. Eh? Not by steamroller. Yeah. Don't battery charge.
So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Obviously give us a like and press that subscribe button, and you're quite welcome to put a comment down as well what you think about the video. Absolutely thank you so much to the volunteers that have ended up talking about the helicopter and the aeroplane that we were in as well, the Vulcan. It has been, there's such good knowledgeable people, and the people in the cafe are really, really friendly as well, and it's super cozy. So yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask what your favourite bit was, but...
My favourite bit is just going into the planes and just listening.
What, the Vulcan?
Yeah.
You can still see from here.
Well, obviously the helicopter as well, but just like listening to the staff and their enthusiasm about it, and some of them make it sound like as if it sounds complicated with the way that things fly, but actually it's just a walk in the park basically for them.
Yeah, you can see the Vulcan over there.
So yeah, we're very, very lucky.
Yeah, it's been
So
good.
thank you to everyone that managed to get us in just to have a chat with him as well and talk about other things as well. So it's been lovely. You're all
Been good,
friendly
yeah.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see you.
The review.
Now